Hey everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you my January and February wrap-ups. This video is very late. We're not even going to talk about my TBRs. At this point, it's kind of ridiculous. I haven't been up to date with all of my videos, my vlogs. Mostly I talk about my issues during my vlogs, but they haven't been edited. So yeah, mostly I have had computer problems lately, and I was a week and a half without my computer, so I couldn't edit anything. And then my computer just stopped being able to run my editing software. So I had to get a plan B. I need to buy myself an iMac, and I'm going to invest in it because I know it's worth the price, but I do not have the money to buy myself an iMac. So I have been borrowing my husband's computer to be able to edit my videos up until I can actually afford my own. Not great. So yeah, anyways, let's just dive into it.
Another party, another Friday night, another talk that might turn into a fight. Too many faces you only see online. Too many cases of faking by design. Wake up every morning just to go right back to sleep. Text everyone you already know you'll never meet. Dance alone around your room and get down to the beat. Wanna change the world, 21 and feeling old. Being young and engaged in the modern age. Only seen on the screen, internet's our stage. Reaching high, wondering why no one knows the way. Got the world at our feet, but we're all just kids. Another movie, another neon light, another way to forget the life I...
So in January, I participated in the Buzzwordathon as always, and for January, the buzzword was one of the 5 W's: why, when, where, who, what, how, any of those questions in the title. And for that prompt, I read 2 books. So the first one I read was She Who Became the Sun by Shelly Champ. I've heard a lot about this book before getting into it, and I was so happy I got to read it. I loved this book so much. The fantasy element is not as present as I thought it would be, but I still really enjoyed the read. I was just in for the ride. I really enjoyed the characters and the relationships that are in here and how raw it was. I think this author really writes brilliantly. One of the things I really love in this book is how the writing was structured, and plot-wise, but also character-wise, because Shelly Champ has a way to surprise us when we least expect it. It just drives the story further and further, and I really loved how it was done. It was brilliantly timed, and it was just perfect. I know that not everyone liked this book, but for me, it was a very easy 5 stars. And before going into it, I didn't know it was going to be a series, and I don't know how many books are going to be part of this series, if it's going to be a duology or a trilogy or more. But yeah, this is the first book of more to come. The next book I read for this prompt is How to Be Bad by E. Lockhart, Lauren Miracle, and Sarah Mlinovsky. Because it was secondhand on sale at the same time I bought We Were Liars, and I read We Were Liars first. And one of my goals this year is to read books that have been on my TBR the longest so that I can move on to more recent reads. So I picked it up and it was so bad. It was worse than We Were Liars. I did not like We Were Liars, but this one is terrible. I mean, one of the worst book I read. The characters made no sense at all. They were not coherent. The story was pointless. Like, I get they were trying to be rebel, but they weren't really. Honestly, nothing really bad happened in this. The writing was so awful, and none of these characters were believable. I did not buy into any of this. It was just so painful to read. Yeah, and when I can get on top of my vlogs, you'll know more about my thoughts. If I remember correctly, I did go on a little rant during my vlogs, so you'll be able to check that out. I gave this book 0.5 stars because it's the least I can give a book. And the last book I read in January was The Lost Hero by Riordan. So this is the first book of the Heroes of Olympus series, I believe. It's the series that comes after Percy Jackson. I didn't even read Percy Jackson, but I really loved this first of this series. I loved that it was more focused on Roman gods, which I didn't know much about. So I was actually really happy to learn more about those. And I thought it was really well done, and it incorporated really well other characters from the Percy Jackson series. So that I enjoyed. I also enjoyed that they talked a bit about my own city. For a while, they are in Quebec City, which is the city I have been living in since the last 13 years. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I always like when Quebec City is mentioned somewhere. So I enjoyed that. It was a good read. It was actually quite fast. And I do have the other 2 books of the series. There are 5 in total, but I have the first 3, I believe. And I'm really excited to get into the next book. I gave this one a 4 stars. So those are all the books I read in January. 3 books is actually not that bad. I do aim to read 1 book a week, but 3 books in the month is just fine. But I was actually quite happy about it. Next, let's move on into February.
I saw you, it's like you put me in a spell that's voodoo, and now I'm drowning in your love. Let's sail away. You got me caught up in a dream vacation. Your heart's an overdrive, my destination, and every time I'm with you, it's like a holiday. We could take back the night with a little more time. Take back the night with the rhythm alright. Take back the night with a little more time. Take back the night with a little more time. And just know whatever you do, I'll be right here waiting for you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll be right here waiting for you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll be right here waiting for you.
So in February, I had the goal to read 8 books, and as you have seen in my time lapse of my bullet journal, I only managed to read 1 book. February was chaotic, it was hectic, it was a huge mess. I'm actually quite disappointed. I was happy that I read 3 books in January because in 2021, I read only 1 book in January. So I thought I was winning on that, but nope. I read 1 book in February, so yeah, I'm like 5 books behind right now on my Goodreads reading goals, but it's fine. It's only the beginning of the year. Hopefully things will get better. I did start a lot of books though. I am currently reading 6 books at the same time, so I did make like a lot of progress through a lot of books. I just didn't end up finishing 1 book. I had just so many books I wanted to read for February. I was really excited for my TBR, and I was genuinely really interested with every book I had there, but it was just physically impossible for me to do, especially if I was dividing my attention throughout 6 different books. And that's why I decided to pick one of those books, which was a very short story, which is The Black God's Drums by P. Shelly Clark. First of all, I'm in love with P. Shelly Clark's writing. I loved everything he wrote so far. I didn't read everything he wrote, but I really love his fiction. And this one was no exception. I loved this book. It was short. It was easy to get into. It was cultural with some fantasy. It was historical. And this one took place in New Orleans, but with a steampunk twist, which I love. I'm all here. I'm all for the steampunk vibes. I love that so much. I don't want to talk too much about it. I know not everyone loved this. It's not something for everyone either. I don't think so. But it was a quick read. It was a fun read. Something that doesn't have any series or books that come after. It's a one short novella, and I really enjoyed it. I gave this book 5 stars. Also, I did try to participate in the Buzzwordathon for February, which the buzzword was pronouns, so any book with a pronoun in the title. And for that prompt, I chose Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. I am still currently reading that book, so I'll be finishing it in hopefully in March. So that's it for me for my wrap-ups. I didn't read much the first 2 months of 2022. It's not a great start, but I'm still positive that I will catch up on those books. We're still very early in the beginning of the year, and I am actually quite hopeful for March since there's a spring break, so more time to read. And I also started 6 books that are almost all at the 50% mark, so hopefully I can finish most of them in March. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you had better reading months than mine. How were your 2 first reading months? How did it go? Let me know if you've read any of the books I mentioned in this video. Like and comment if you want to. Subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!